Welcome to finding fractions of a group. When you're finding fractions of a group, you might have a word problem like this. Carly had 12 pool toys. 3/4 of the pool toys were at the bottom of the pool. How many pool toys were at the bottom of the pool? So what we're trying to find out is 3/4 of 12. We want to know what 3/4 of 12 is. Well, I can change this of sign right here to a multiplication sign because that's what that means. A multiplication sign means of. So this means 3/4 of 12. So if I were using a model to find this answer, I need 12 total objects and I need them to be in 4 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I have 3 rows. And that equals 9. There were 9 pool toys at the bottom of the pool. Here's the exact same problem, except this time I'm going to show you the math behind it. Carly had 12 pool toys. 3/4 of the pool toys were at the bottom of the pool. So we're still doing 3/4 times 12. Okay, so I am going to add a 1 as my denominator. That does not change the meaning of 12 at all, because if I divided 12 by 1, I would get 12. Now I simply multiply across my numerators and I multiply across my denominators. 3 times 12 is 36, and 4 times 1 is 4. Now I definitely have a fraction greater than 1. And remember that a fraction bar is simply a division sign. So this means 36 divided by 4. And 4 goes into 36 9 times without going over, and that's my final answer. There were 9 pool toys at the bottom of the pool. So if we have this problem, 5/6 times 30, that means what is 5/6 of 30? So if I were going to draw a model, I'm going to show 30 total objects, and they are going to be in 6 rows. So bear with me while I do this. There are my 6 rows. And now I have 5 of those rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have 25 total. So if I had 5/6 of 30, that means 25. Let me show you with the math. So 5/6 times 30. I'm just going to add a 1 underneath here. 5 times 30. 5 times 3 is 15. And there is 1 0. And 6 times 1 is 6. Now, that is definitely a fraction greater than 1. I am going to divide 150 by 6. 6 goes into 15 2 times. 6 times 2 is 12. I subtract and I bring down my 3. Bring down my 0. 6 goes into 30 5 times. 6 times 5 is 30, and then I'm done. And you can see that I got the same answer both ways. Here's another one. 2/3 times 15. I'm simply going to add a 1 as my denominator because 15 over 1 is simply 15. And now I'm going to multiply across. 2 times 15 is 30. And 3 times 1 is 3. And I know this one, 30 divided by 3 equals 10. Now, there is a shortcut that I can show you. So if we go back to this point, here's a shortcut. You can do what's called cross-canceling, and I can look at my problem on a diagonal. So I can look at it like this and like this. And I can say, do 3 and 15 have anything in common that they can be divided by? Any common factors? And they do. They can both be divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. 2 and 1, the only thing that they have in common, they're both prime numbers, and I'm done. So now, just 2 times 5 is 10, and 1 times 1 is 1. And then 10 over 1 is equal to 10. Either way is fine. At first, it's probably better to just go ahead and multiply straight across. 2 times 15 is 30, 3 times 1 is 3, and then you can divide and get 10. Either way works. That's why I love fractions so much, is because you can simply play with the numbers. Here is another one. It's a word problem. There are 9 balls. 2/3 of the balls are red. How many of the balls are red? So this is asking me 2/3 of 9. 2/3 times 9. So I can either draw my model with 9 total objects in 3 rows. So 1, 2, there's my 3 rows. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I have 2 rows, which equals 6. Or I can do 2/3 times 9 over 1. 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Same answer. Now, just to show you what the cross canceling would have looked like, I would have looked at this diagonally, and I would have said 3 and 9 can both be divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. And 6 over 1 is 6. If you don't understand that, do not worry about it. You don't ever have to understand that. This problem looks very similar, but if you read it, you can see that there's a big difference. There are 9 balls. 2/3 of the balls are red, and the rest are blue. How many of the balls are blue? So now, it's asking me to figure out what's missing, or the missing part. So if 2/3 of the balls are red, the other 1/3 are blue. I could also just go ahead and find out what 2/3 of the balls are, which we just did in our last problem, and we know that 6 of them are red, and so we can subtract 9 minus 6 to find out 3. Or I can know that 2/3 plus 1/3 equals 3/3, or all of the balls. So there's multiple ways you can attack this problem. I would probably say 9 times 1/3. And it doesn't matter if I do 9 times 1/3 or 1/3 times 9 because of the commutative property. However, what I'm really saying is 1/3 of 9, not 9 of 1/3. So when I put my 1 there, 1 times 9 is 9, 3 times 1 is 3, and 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Now I could have also found out that 2/3 were red, and we just did this on our last screen, but it'll only take a second. 18 divided by 3 is 6. If 6 of the 9 balls are red, then 3 are blue. Here is a 2-step problem. You don't have to be scared just because there's lots of information in a problem. I'm thinking there must be a party if you've got 36 Skittles. Camille had 36 Skittles. She gave 1/4 to her sister Kinsey. Kinsey gave 1/3 of the Skittles she received to her friend Ada. How many Skittles did Ada receive? So all you have to do is go step by step in this type of problem. So Camille had 36 Skittles. She gave 1/4 to her sister Kinsey. So let's find out how many she gave to Kinsey. 1/4 of 36. By now you should know that we're going to put a 1 here. 1 times 36 is 36. 4 times 1 is 4. And 36 divided by 4 is 9. So Kinsey got 9 Skittles. And then she gave her friend Ada 1/3. So 1/3 of 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So Ada received 3 Skittles. Poor Ada. Here is your homework for tonight. I want you to pause on this screen and go ahead and solve this, and you'll bring this in to me tomorrow. You have 3/4 times 16, 1/5 times 25, 3/7 times 21, and then I'll read this last problem because it kind of got cut off. Lilo had 56 stuffed animals. 4/9 were Stitch. How many were Stitch? Have a great night and bring this homework in tomorrow.